welcome to the Kate and Kay Show.
Today we're looking at the 25th book of the Bible, which is
Lamentations.
Lamentations. It comes just after Jeremiah. And so I've got a bit of a quiz for Kate today. I'll put the pictures up on the screen so you can join in as well. I'm going to show her some pictures of some stars. And I want her to tell me what the stars are of. What picture the stars are making.
Okay.
And I'm going to show her on my laptop because I couldn't print them out. But here's the first picture. What do you think these stars are?
I mean, it's just a black sky with some speckles of white paint.
If you were to join, well, no, they're actual stars. If you were to join them up, what picture might they make?
Tractor.
Tractor. Yeah, the famous constellation. It's actually Orion. You heard of Orion?
Nope.
Orion the Hunter. So the 3 stars in the middle, they're his belt. Here's a joke for you. Orion got his Amazon delivery and it was a belt and he said, it's okay, 3 stars. And then this is his bow and arrow. Do you see?
Yeah, I can see the bow and arrow.
Yeah, okay. Right, let's have a look at the next one.
Ish.
Ta-da! What is this? What are these stars a picture of?
A butterfly.
You're not as far off as you were before. It is in fact a bear.
I was along the right lines. At least it's an animal.
And they both begin with a B.
Relationship.
The ones in the middle there are sometimes called the plough.
How is that a bear?
Well, there's his head and his legs and his tail. Okay, now here's an artist impression of the bear. They were the stars she was
Well, that
looking
looks
at.
like a bear.
And there's also a little bear called Ursa Minor. So there's the little bear and there's the big bear.
Mate, they're just stars.
Yeah. Now there's one more. I've drawn the lines up for you, but can you still tell?
Is it a kite?
It's not a kite. It's now I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Butes, who is the bear protector.
Yeah, they still just look like stars to me.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Let's find out a bit more about Lamentations.
3 words for the book of Lamentations are sad songs, Jerusalem, and hope.
Lamentations is a collection of 5 poems in 5 chapters that come right after the book of Jeremiah. And it comes there because Jeremiah may have written it, but we don't really know for sure. And it's called Lamentations because the poems are sad, they lament. They reflect back on the Babylonians coming and the destruction of the city of Jerusalem and the temple. This was the most horrendous catastrophe in Israel's history. God had promised Abraham the land. He'd led the Israelites through the desert and given them this land as their very own. God was with David as he built up Jerusalem as the capital city. He'd given Solomon the plan and the resources to build the temple. And God's presence was right at the heart of all of this, in the most holy of holies within the temple. And it was here that the Israelites came to worship and to make sacrifices. And then the Babylonians came in and destroyed it all. It was all gone. And the Book of Lamentations is a reflection on the pain and sorrow that this caused the Israelites. They're an acknowledgement of the terrible things that have happened, of the way that sin and selfishness has ruined so much, and the confusion that this also brings. It asks questions of God's character and his promises, as suffering often makes us do. Why did this happen to them? Suffering is real and sad. We're allowed to acknowledge that just as the Book of Lamentations does. But right at the heart of it, in the middle of chapter 3, we get the only hopeful words to be found in this book. It's the hope within the sadness, within all that the lamenting focuses on, and it's the answer to their confusion about why their suffering is happening.
A key verse for Lamentations is Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 to 24. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. His love is new every morning, great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him.
In the olden days, people used to use the stars to navigate, to find their way. But because we're moving around the sun, the stars don't stay still in the sky. Well, actually, they're still and we're moving, but you know what I mean. Well, there's a star in the sky that's called the North Star. And the bear constellations that Kate and I just looked at, they actually point to it. The North Star stays in the same place despite all the other stars moving around. Here's a video that's been sped up so you can see what's happening. It was this star, the North Star, that is the most helpful to find your way home when you're lost. No matter what was going on with the other stars, navigate by the North Star and it will keep you on course. That's a bit like the truth in these middle verses in Lamentations. Though everything is in chaos, God is still God. Keep focused on that. God kept his promise to punish Israel's unfaithfulness, but he also promised that he would be with them, rescue them, love them, and he would keep that promise too. When the question of why suffering happens comes up in the Bible, God often answers, "Look at me. I am faithful. I've got your back." We can't always know the answer as to why suffering happens, but trust God. He is powerful enough to help us, but also wise enough to know what we need. He will keep his promises. His love for his people will never run out, and his compassions will never fail. Great is his faithfulness.
What's
the 25th book of the Bible?
Genesis,
Exodus,
Leviticus,
Numbers,
Deuteronomy,
Joshua,
Judges,
Ruth,
1 Samuel,
2 Samuel,
1 Kings,
2 Kings,
1 Chronicles,
2 Chronicles,
Ezra,
Nehemiah,
Esther,
Job,
Psalms,
Proverbs,
Ecclesiastes, Song of Songs,
Isaiah,
Jeremiah,
Lamentations.